The thing they don't tell you is the long way is the shortcut, because the shortcut never gets you there. And so people quit when things get hard because the thought of things being hard forever feels unbearable. But that's a lie, because nothing's hard forever. You either quit, it gets easier, or you get harder. But no matter what, the hard always ends. And the only way you lose is if you quit before seeing it through. And so what I try to tell myself when I'm in those like kind of harder times is this is for now, not forever.
Alex Hormozy said it best. I literally couldn't have said it better, because what I always tell you guys and what I'm always trying to explain to you guys is that there's a lot of these shortcuts out here, but none of them actually work. So the only shortcut is the long route anyways, right? So the route of losing 1 pound of fat, per week, you know what I mean? 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week consistently by strength training, staying in a deficit, not doing anything special, not doing keto, not doing every other day fasting, not doing, carnivore diet, not being a vegan, not doing an extra hour of cardio, not doing, 2-a-days. That is the actual solution. The solution is literally just being in a deficit, strength training 4 to 5 times a week and staying consistent so you don't burn out. All right. Because all those other shortcuts lead to burning out. I call those shortcuts distractions, because none of them actually get you to your fucking goal. I've never seen someone who is severely out of shape start keto and get to their goals. They always lose 20 pounds, go right back to square one. Why? Because it's not sustainable and they're not making the foundational changes that they need to make, and they're not making the identity shift they need to make. You need to realize that the shortest path to your goal is by holding yourself accountable, telling yourself the truth, and realizing that the answer that you don't want to be true is really the true answer. Like the answer that you don't want to be true of, you have to lock in and eat in a deficit and strength train until you get to your goals, right? Not for 3 weeks, right? Because listen, you have 60 pounds to lose to get below 20% body fat. That means you got to put in work, all right? That means you can't speed up the process. A lot of you guys try these different things. Like I said, you try 2-a-days. You try these fat diets, you try water fasting, you might do some apple cider vinegar, you might rub some castor oil on your stomach. All of that stuff is distractions and a waste of time, and it has nothing to do with what actually works, right? When are people going to, like, realistically, some people never actually get sick of this shit. Some people never get sick of this shit. Some people never get sick of doing the same shit over and over and literally going backwards. I know the only reason I tell you guys about this carnivore, this keto, this vegan, this 2-a-days is because I get these same people. I don't know why they decide to contact me, but every January and every summer, I get the same people contact me about like, yeah, man, this time is it, man. I'm going to do keto. It's the same shit they did before. And I'm like, why do you keep stopping and starting? Because they're not really in their identity, right? They're not making fitness a part of their identity. As long as you do that, as long as you don't make fitness a part of your identity, you're never going to get to your goals. All right, period. And that's the issue with these mindsets of shortcuts. Anytime you're trying to shortcut your way into something, that means you don't really want to become the person that you need to become to actually have that, right? And to be like, you don't want to become the person you need to become to be the leanest version of yourself. Why? Because you know it'll be difficult. But in reality, there is no growth without discomfort. All right. You guys want to comfortably get to your goals. You guys want to be getting 9 hours of sleep a day, have 0 hunger pangs, have no soreness. Oh, I don't want to work out because it hurts. All that stuff, right? And you want, to see changes every single day. That is not the reality of the fitness journey. You're going to have a lot of soreness. You might have some minor strains or sprains while you're learning workouts and movements and stuff like that. You might have some serious adversity like a car accident or someone breaking up with you or a death in the family. For some reason, all this stuff happens when you get on your fitness journey. You might have to break up with a significant other that you thought was benefiting you until you start your journey and realize like, wow, they have a lot of bad habits and they're not supportive. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you might have to go through. You might have to go through a divorce. You might be going through a divorce while you start your fitness journey. There's going to be a lot of discomfort, but that's going to make you stronger. Like Alex Hormozy said, a lot of you guys think that discomfort is a bad thing and that you got to chase comfort. And that's because, like I said, the men have been feminized these days. A lot of them get raised by women. And let me give you an example. I think I gave you guys this example already on like a live or something. But if you have a parent, right? Let's say that a young kid is boxing, right? And then he keeps messing up and the coach is like, man, you keep messing up, go to your parents or whatever, right? Let's say that his dad is there. If the kid goes to his dad would be like, hey man, like here's how you do it, right? He'll correct it. The kid will be crying, but the dad would be like, hey man, let's do better, let's do it better. And he'll help him get the left, right, the 1, 2, 3, right? Help him get the 1, 2, 3, get the 1, 2, 3. And then once he gets the 1, 2, 3 down after repetition, after, fighting through the tears, then dad would be like, good job, now go back out there. The little kid will go back to the coach and do the 1-2-3, hit the 1-2-3 the way he's supposed to, right? He'll learn his lesson, right? He'll learn that if he keeps trying, then he'll get done what he needs to get. However, if the kid starts crying and he gets sent to his mom and she's like a single mom, she's gonna be like, oh my God, are you okay? Oh my God, like he made you cry? Let's get out of here. This is not cool. This is not okay. I'm gonna sue the coach or some shit like that. Or I'm never coming back here. Something like that, right? Because in reality, and that's another reason shows on Netflix like Last Chance You got canceled, because people don't like to see the way, diamonds are made. But diamonds are literally made in the rough, man. People don't like to see how diamonds are made. That's the reality of it. When you're getting coached in football, the coaches aren't saying, oh, that's okay, do better next time. They're saying, man, get the fuck up and do better, you bitch ass nigga. And they say shit like that. That's how coaches get you better, right? You need to be pushed to your limit to get better. All right. That's the reality of how it works. You need to be pushed to your limits. You're not going to get better. You're not going to get results. Everyone wants the results that the top 1% people have. Like everyone wants to be leaner and stuff like that. But here's the thing. When someone's like, yo, man, I'm trying to get your physique. I know they're not, like, depending on what they say next or what they say they're trying or their mindset or the way they're saying things and the speed of time they're saying they're going to get it done. I know that whether or not they're not going to make it or whether or not they will make it based on their mindset, because I'm like, yo, you're not going to lock in and push through shit like I did. All right. You're not going to work out when you have COVID, right? You're not going to work out after 24-hour shifts, right? You're not going to work out with a hamstring injury, with a lower back injury. You're not going to work out after a breakup, after, had to go to police station. You're not doing all these things that I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? You're just not going to do them because you're not going to make it a part of your identity. Like, you want the outcome, but you don't want to go through the process. Well, can't have one without the other. You guys really need to realize that. Like, y'all just be trying to like, yo, this has to be it, bro. I'm gonna do every other day fasting mixed with carnivore, and this has to be it. No, bro. You have to go through the process. When you have a lot of fat to lose, that means you need to give it a lot of time. Time is your best friend, right? So when you make it your identity, you're gonna spend more time and be more consistent doing it. But if you don't make it your identity, you're gonna want these shortcuts, which, like I said earlier, are distractions, because there's no such thing as a shortcut. All right. There isn't a shorter way to get to your goals. The amount of time it takes to lose 20% body fat is the amount of time that it takes to lose 20% body fat. Drinking lemon water and apple cider vinegar together isn't going to make it happen faster. Doing an extra hour of cardio isn't going to make you lose fat faster. You might lose muscle faster, but you won't lose fat faster. If anything, you'll lose fat slower because you'll be losing muscle, which will reduce your metabolic rate. Simple shit, right? So realize that it took you a long time to get fat as shit. You guys need to remember that, all right? You didn't take a shortcut when it comes to getting fat, being out of shape, having bad habits. So stop trying to take a shortcut when it comes to building good habits and getting in shape and getting lean and becoming the best version of yourself. Best believe you really only have to get lean once. Once you get lean that one time, your entire mindset changes, but you become the person you need to become. But also, when you see how differently everybody treats you, you know what I mean? Your nieces and nephews, your parents, your family, former friends, your exes are going to try to spin the block. You can just block them. Women are going to treat you differently, jobs, all that stuff. Once you see how much more respect you get, it's like, I won't have to talk about this shit anymore. You'll be like, oh man, this is different. All right, so lock the fuck in, man.